Welcome back to the Bodhi Tree. It's been a couple of months since I've been back, and there's a deep and meaningful reason why. As we continue to explore the paths that connect us all, on this evening show we're diving back into the tender topic of grief. This was the topic of the show last year in May, following the passing of one of my beloved pets. But this evening's show, the grief runs a lot deeper. My mama passed away 3 weeks ago today. She was at home in her own bed, and I was on the bed beside her holding her hand as she passed. I've witnessed a few people passing before, but Mama's passing was the most gentle, peaceful passing I have ever witnessed. Her breath just ever so softly faded and stopped. I was her living caregiver for the past 4 years, and she was my everything, my priority, my reason to get out of bed each day. She was my good buddy. And now my days just feel so empty without her. There's an unparalleled sorrow losing a mother, a deep, profound, heartfelt loss that no words can describe. When a loved one crosses over the veil, grief washes over us like a tidal wave. Unpredictable, overwhelming, heavy with memories, and sometimes regrets. It's not just the absence of their presence, their touch, or the sound of their voice, but the loss of the small, everyday moments that sting the most. The whole they leave behind is shaped by the unique role they played in our lives, and that's what makes grieving both so personal and yet so universal. Our guest on this evening's show is Julianne Rose. Julianne is a grief counsellor and family support manager at North Haven Hospice here in Whangārei. Julianne, welcome to the show, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you, and it's beautiful to be here, and thank you for asking me to come, and your braveness to share the rawness of your grief with others, as others will feel the sense of relief to know you will understand their own grief.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So let's just start off with, what is grief? Many people think grief is simply sadness after someone passes away, but it's much more than that. The grieving process can even begin in the palliative stage, as you know, but also there's the times when people are taken from us unexpectedly. So being able to be with somebody when they pass, it's a privilege denied to many. So it's a different kind of grief when you're with someone when they pass and when someone's taken from you suddenly and unexpectedly. How would you describe grief, and what are some of the emotional, physical, and even spiritual ways grief can show up?
Thank you. I think you opened that up really well in explaining grief. I often describe grief as a natural response to losing someone or something deeply meaningful. In many ways, grief is love responding to loss.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. For many families, grief actually begins before death, as you just said. When someone receives a life-limiting diagnosis or their health begins to decline, people often experience what we call anticipatory grief, as we watch our loved one slowly lose parts of themselves on that journey, and also thinking into the future of a life without them.
Mm-hmm.
this can mean there's many losses along the way, not just when the person crosses the veil, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a different kind of grief in that long-term experience that you have felt with your mum.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, there's that sudden shock of death where nobody... I think what's difficult about that is that there's no preparation, no kind of coming to terms with what's coming up for you, but also the ability of not have said what you've wanted to say to them or having regrets. So they're different griefs, but they're also the same when it comes to losing someone you love and having that big space in your life that is uncertain and a new road that you've never journeyed before. Yeah. One thing I've learnt through walking alongside people in hospice is there's no right way or wrong way to grieve, because every relationship is different. And as we talked earlier about how even different siblings will have a different experience of grief, but it's the same mother.
Yeah.
Because all relationships are really unique.
Yeah.
Even within a family.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So there's no kind of one size fits all when it comes to grief.
Yeah, for sure. And we spoke of before about anticipatory grief and then anticipatory loss and then sudden loss. When you know that somebody is passing, you get to say what's in your heart. So that on a spiritual or soul level, harmony is in place when they pass.
Yes.
But when somebody's suddenly taken and you don't have that moment, you can sit with them in the moment and you can call in their spirit and you can speak that with them.
Yes.
And allow that to sit there and call in the spirit and have a conversation with them. And it's amazing the response that you get and the harmony that can be in place, even though you haven't been able to verbalise it to them while they have been with us physically, but you can verbalise it to them when they're in spirit, and it's just as healing, isn't it, as being able to say it to them when they're present.
Yeah, it's different, but yes, definitely find ways that works for the individuals, because there'll be different meaningful ways that they can find connection with their person and be able to speak those words and to feel those loving moments and to connect in a spiritual way.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so important, really, like, even if people aren't spiritually inclined, to be able to do that does give a deep sense of relief, because they do communicate with you, and especially in the unfurling. So the unfurling is those 3 days after they pass. Their spirit still hangs around and we can still communicate with them, and they might leave a little sign or something. Yeah. So it's important to keep your mind and heart open for things like that. The week after my mum passed, it's all a blur actually, but Sundays, I'll always remember Sundays and at 11:39 a.m. because that's when she passed. And I think it was Sunday last week, I was sitting on the front porch thinking about her, and it was a beautiful blue sky, and then this white feather just floated out of the sky in front of me, and that's a sign, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then another time I went into her, I put a flower on her pillow, and I was the only one in the house. All day. And then I went into the bedroom later that day, because I slept with Mum for the past 9 months. She had dementia, and she'd get up in the night, and I'd have to get up and settle her down, and I just found it that easy. If I slept in her bed with her, double bed with her, we both got a good sleep.
Lovely.
And I came into the bedroom, and after being the only one in the house all day, and the flower was on my pillow.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. I know. And I thought, Mama.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of, there are no words to describe how that felt. It was just like, I don't know. I can't articulate it. I can't say, but it was just like, when I saw that, it was just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's something very spiritual and beyond words, isn't it?
Totally beyond words, yeah, totally, but deeply meaningful, like the feather, deeply meaningful. And there are 5 stages of grief, aren't there? And those stages are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Can you just give a brief overview of each of those?
Yes, I'm really happy to do that. And the idea of 5 stages of grief came from Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, who's now passed away a number of years ago. And she made a huge difference in supporting people around grief and understanding grief. But in her later life, she brought in another concept around grief, and that's called continuing bonds. So I'll talk a little bit about that as well. She was also reflective on to be careful with the stages and not feel like it's a graduation, like you need to get through the stages, and then after that everything, you're kind of graduated and moving on to the next part of your journey. So you can move around in the different stages, but just saying it's not a linear thing. Denial can be about when somebody just dies, but you're not ready in yourself to feel the deepness of that pain, of that loss. And I think it's self-preservation that we do that, and to get through the next few days and to be able to do the things you need to do. And I feel like that's really normal. It's like you don't want to go over the edge of the waterfall. You want to, it's going to be too
keep
hard.
Paddling.
Keep paddling away, And anger, of course, is a reaction to pain and the unjustness of it all, and just why couldn't it be me instead of them, or just trying
why
to.
did it have to be so soon?
Yes, and all those things, and really angry at the universe for doing that. Bargaining is. I often hear that in the counselling room, and that people will go through a part where they are thinking, well, if I had given them that medication instead of that medication, or I didn't ring somebody when I should have, or just having these should-haves. And that's normal too, because it's just something our brain kind of goes back and reflects. And
if only.
The if-onlys, And coming to terms with that in yourself, that actually I did everything that I could do, is really part of the bargaining stages, being able to be settled and knowing that you can't go back and change anything. It is what it was. That's
been one of my hardest, is the if only.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that's what the bargaining part was.
Yeah, it's quite hard. It's quite wrenching in yourself when you are thinking back and thinking, what else could I have done? And
at the time you do the best you can.
Absolutely. You would have done the
best. Or you do the best that you know.
Yeah. You would have done the best that you could in that moment. I can hear the love for your mum, so I'm sure that you did the best in that moment for your mum and for you. Depression, that they talk about, that deep sadness, and I suppose I always worry that people will class it as something that you get a diagnosis for, depression. It's a natural sadness, a deep sadness for the significant loss. That's what I would rather call it, sadness rather than depression. And acceptance is another one, where it's that part where, which I say might feel like that one day and not the next day, is that acceptance of, okay, now I need to look a little bit further forward and look at what direction next is for me. It's never going to be smooth sailing, because I'm always going to have that loss, but it's making some choices about what next. And the continuing bonds is that continuing ways of finding connection and love with your mum, which will always be there, but doing things that can keep you connected, whether it's...
I do.
And so that you can take with the rest of your life, have that continuing bond, like for my nana, who was 98, who had a similar death by the sounds of it as your mum, which was very peaceful and very spiritual. But whenever I use some baking dishes of hers, I feel that connection because she always cooked lovely meals for me, and I always felt loved by her.
Yeah.
So that's my continuing bond with my nana.
Yeah, I have that with a plate that I used to give her breakfast and lunch on. Yeah.
And I really feel that love when I use it. And
you do, you really do. Yeah. So why does grief affect everyone so differently? It's, some people cry every day and struggle to get out of bed like I have been, but you have to get on with it, but the grief just feels so heavy. And others, they just seem so calm, or they become very practical or even cold. Why can two people grieving the same person have completely different experiences?
Yeah, well, that's a really good question. I always say to everyone that I work with that grief is like a thumbprint. It's individual and it's different for everyone. But there's other influences like people's personalities or their culture, their beliefs, their previous experiences of loss, the different relationships, the different bonds to the person that has died, and also about the support that they have around them. Yeah. Also, I've been working with different people over this 10 years who talk about that they have neurodiversity. They might have, I suppose it's
different
always a
coping mechanisms.
Yes, and particularly somebody who has known about her own autism and how grief is different for her and how what she needs to do to feel connected. Or for some people, they just have to stay away from people. They can't cope with people. Or they might just have to keep busy and look after everyone else until they come a time, maybe a year later, where they can drop in.
Yeah, they feel they can cope.
Yeah, but everyone is so different, and I suppose it's just who people are, aren't they? There's just we're all so different.
And we all have to allow each other our own way of grieving, however long it takes. Yeah. So when we grieve someone who has passed, unresolved conflict or unspoken words can become like knots in our hearts and souls. Forgiving or asking the spirit of those who have passed, like I mentioned before, for forgiveness, is a way of untying those knots and healing the relationship at soul level. In grief, forgiveness can be the most sacred offering we make to the one we've lost, but also to ourselves. And like I said before, Mum had dementia, and we have a perpetual calendar in our kitchen, and on the day she passed, the message on the calendar was, love is not blind, it sees more, not less. But because it sees more, it is willing to see less. And I just trust that that was a divine message, meaning that she saw more of the love that I had for her and the love that we shared, and less of what had happened to her.
That's beautiful.
Mother of mine, you gave me life, guided my steps through pain and strife. All that I am, all I've come to be, I owe it to you, Mother, endlessly. Mother of mine, when I was small, you caught my tears and answered my call. Without your love, where would I be? Mother, sweet mother, please stay with me. Mother, you gave me Even in darkness, you held me tight. I pray that heaven may keep you near. Mother, sweet mother, forever dear. Mother of mine, now I am grown. I walk alone, but I'm not on my own. I carry your love every day through. Mother, sweet mother, forever true. And your laughter was light, your arms were my home. Now I walk silent where you once shone. If I could hear you say I'm with you, my child, I'd never feel lonely, not lost or beguiled. The mother you gave me, comfort and light. Even in darkness, and you held me tight. I pray that heaven may keep you near. Mother, sweet mother, forever dear. Mother, sweet mother, forever, forever, forever.
Grief isn't a logical thing, and many people are unaware that grief can affect sleep, appetite, memory, concentration, even cause physical pain. For me personally, it's definitely affected my sleep, my appetite, and my concentration. I've sometimes found myself just wandering through the house aimlessly thinking, I need to do this, but my actions can't, and my brain can't engage, and I kind of have to collect myself a little bit and bring myself into it. Why does grief impact the body as well as the mind and the emotions?
Thank you for explaining all the ways that you've noticed it, and that's normal grieving. What you're explaining doesn't make practical sense what happens to our bodies, but because love is more than just in our brain, it's in our heart, it's in our body, it sends out chemical responses. Mm-hmm. It's our whole being as in that experiences the love and bonds that we have with deep relationships, and so therefore grief is the same. It's not just in our head, it's in our heart, it's in our bodies, it's in our being. And so, therefore, you experience it on all those levels. And it's not something that you can logic or plan and
or snap out of.
And one of the things for me with grief, I lost my sister when I was 10. She died of cancer. She was older than me. And at that time, I was a young person, not understanding the world at all, and my parents, of course, were in deep grief. And I went on a spiritual search, trying to find meaning in my life about why would God take my sister? That's just not right in the world, and feeling a bit angry about that. So exploring my spiritual life and meaning at a very young age. And it sent me on a journey for life, actually, trying to make meaning out of those bigger ideas, because we try to think it's only old people that die, but actually that's not true. But out of hospice work, I do dancing, sort of somatic dancing, And I've found myself having stored grief in different parts of my body that's being able to release.
Oh, wow.
So, and that's years later.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
it's not, hasn't got a time frame on it.
I was just going to say it doesn't have a time frame.
Yeah, and it could be at an anniversary or a birthday, and it just sweeps through you again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mysterious spiritual thing, grief,
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, I find myself sometimes just getting on with it, and then all of a sudden this wave comes over me, and yeah, it's a strange and curious thing.
Yes.
Is grief, isn't it?
Yeah.
So someone who has been the full-time caregiver of a person who has passed, whether it be a parent or a spouse, a partner, a child, a friend, experiences a different kind of loss and a different kind of grief.
Yes.
Can you talk about caregiver grief?
Yes. I think we started off a little bit there about your own journey of looking after your mum for a long time, but then also I imagine her noticing the different losses in her with her dementia and the change, and so experiencing grief before death of different parts of your mum that were present and not so present, and then also looking into the future without them in your life, so you're having that anticipatory grief of looking into the future as well. But one of the big things too after loss of a significant person after many years is that your role changes. Like that's been your meaning, as you said at the beginning, of waking up in the morning and loving your mum and sharing your life with her and giving her the best that you can over those years. That's got you up every morning into your life. And so after she has gone and the person's gone, that's huge. Seeing not what's next, I must feel like a huge kind of limbo place of where to now, how do I get that deeper meaning back into my life.
That's it.
Yeah.
My previous show was about the liminal space, and it just made me realise that's where I am right now. I'm in that liminal space. I'm on the threshold. I'm not quite where I'm going, but I'm not quite sure where I'm meant to be either. It's a pretty hard time trying to decipher where do I go from here while you're dealing with grief and the stress of the grief. And for me, I would say it's just we need time. And people say time heals all wounds, but I don't think it does. I think it just makes them feel different.
Yes.
But you can't rush yourself forward. When you've been in the position of being a full-time caregiver, you can't push yourself forward and rush forward into the next phase because you don't even know what that next phase looks like or feels like or anything. So, it's about being kind to yourself, isn't it? Just and allowing yourself that time to grieve and to come to terms with the grief.
Yeah.
Before you can really practically move forward, isn't it?
Well, that's right. And I think that the first year of firsts, the first birthday, the first, different significant holidays.
Yeah, Christmas, and your own birthday and their birthday, and Mother's Day.
Yeah, so those first, you don't know how you're going to be in that time.
No.
So giving yourself that spaciousness to experience or design something significant for you, whether it's a quiet time or whether it's with other people. Yeah, so I think after the first year, that's what they say. Don't make any big changes until after the first year. Yeah, but some people are forced into it, unfortunately.
Yeah. But it's about allowing, isn't it? Allowing it to take its course. But another thing is, along with that, there's overwhelming sadness alongside exhaustion and loss of purpose. For some people, I know that when my father passed, he didn't have a quality of life, and it was kind of a relief that he was no longer suffering. But with Mum, she still had a quality of life. Yeah. So there wasn't any relief there at all, but there was a guilt that, like we spoke about before, if I only I had have pushed a bit further for this or this, that or the other thing, and the sense of unfairness that the person has passed before expected. So that makes grief so complex, doesn't it?
It does.
You know?
But it is also about getting the right, connecting with the people that are going to help you through that.
Yeah.
Whether it's a group of friends or a practice. I'm sure you've got many practices, and for some people it's a church or joining a group, just having others around you supportive and caring. So
I'm fortunate enough to have a superb group of friends. You know, it's like very, very decent, good friends who are very supportive of me. They were supportive of me and Mum. It's nice to have them around and help me through that and help me come to terms with things like that, because grief opens a doorway to the soul where love and pain are inseparable.
Absolutely.
And where something greater can be revealed through presence and through surrender. And by sitting with your sorrow, whether it's through that quiet contemplation or long snotty cries, or some people like journaling and creating or seeking support from others, and that opens the doorway to engage in transformative dialogue with your deeper self. And that always allows you to integrate the loss into your being, doesn't it? And it fosters a renewed connection to life's enduring meaning. So it's kind of like granting yourself permission to feel and reflect. You create the opportunity to honour your emotions, gain clarity, and gradually build resilience. So allowing yourself time to process grief or offer forgiveness is a sacred act and an invitation to meet loss, not as an interruption to life, but as part of its deeper unfolding, isn't it?
I think beautifully said. There's a lot of deep meaning in what you've just said.
Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories, and the memories bring back your. There's a time that I remember when I did not know no pain, when I believed in forever and everything would stay the same. Now my heart feel like December when somebody say your name. Cause I can't reach out to call you, but I know I will one day. Hey. Everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday. Hey, hey. But everything gon' be alright. Gonna raise a glass and say, hey. Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. Cause the dreams bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories, and the memories bring back your. Memories bring back your. There's a time that I remember when I never felt so lost, and I felt all of the hatred was too powerful to stop. Now my heart feel like an ember, and it's lighting up the dark. I'll carry these torches for you, and you know I'll never drop. Yeah, everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday. Yeah, everything gon' be alright. A glass and say, hey. Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. Cause the dreams bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories, and the memories bring back your. Memories bring back your.
As we were talking before about having a good support group around you and good friends, sometimes people don't often know what to say, so they either avoid the grieving person or say things that might not be particularly helpful. So what are some of the most supportive things people can do or be for someone who is grieving?
Yes, that's so true. I've had many people say to me they've had people they know walk across the other side of the road so as to avoid them. And it's deeply hurtful for that person. But they get to understand that that person doesn't know how to be with grief themselves. They don't know what to say, or they worried about upsetting that person, or they might get upset themselves because they've got some unresolved grief. So they're probably protecting themselves.
That's important to consider, isn't it?
Yeah. But it is so meaningful for people to have grief acknowledged, even if it is just saying, I'm here for you if you need me, or can I walk the dog, or
I'll bring dinner around for you.
Yeah.
Are you looking after yourself? Are you eating?
Yeah. And it's also, as the weeks go by, the first weeks go by, it's actually in that next year that actually lots of people kind of move on with their lives, but you're still there, and that significant person, partner, parent, or whoever the loved one left behind, that doesn't happen for them. They don't move on in their lives after a couple of weeks. So staying connected for a while, just giving a text and saying, thinking about you, do you want a coffee? Yeah. Those things are really meaningful.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. The thing that I'm struggling with the most is at night, because I'm still in the home that I was with Mum, and it feels quite lonely with everything of hers still there, and if people come over, or a phone call or a video call or something like that, just so you've got that connection with somebody, because it is deeply lonely. Yeah. And to have just something, even like you said, a little text message, I'm here for you if you need anything, just to know. Yeah. It means a lot. It means a whole lot. Yeah. And as well, sometimes people will ask, when will I get over this? Is grief something we recover from, or is it something we learn to carry? I think I already know the answer to that question, but I want to ask it anyway. Yeah, it's a good question, and maybe some people think that, when is this? This is so exhausting. When is it going to get better? Yeah, so I think everyone might ask themselves. But I think a lovely description that I think really resonates with a lot of people is that nothing will ever take away the loss that you have in your life, but what you do is you build a life around that loss. And so it's still there, that's still honouring, and there's still that love, but you have a life around it, so it doesn't feel so out of balance. It brings it back into balance as we continue that bond with that person we love. It really rested with me, that one. Grief is a natural process to loss, but sometimes people can feel overwhelmed, and like me, I've felt quite overwhelmed. The grief that I had for my father is very different to the grief that I had for Mum, and I kind of sometimes feel like I've become stuck, and sometimes I even fall into despair, and I want to drag myself out of it, but it just belongs in the too hard basket. So how do we know when it's time to reach out to a counsellor or a support group when we do fall into that stage in grief? Yeah, that's a good question. And I would generally say in the first 3 to 6 months, all those experiences are normal. But I think if you're still feeling like that in 8 months or a year, then I would maybe speak to your GP about that, or a hip. Most surgeries now have a hip health improvement practitioner. But I think it's never too early to reach out for support.
either. Like, I don't think you should have to wait until you're worried about yourself in a year's time. Going to a support group, bereavement support group, connecting with a counsellor at any time, just having one session to be able to hold in that space, especially when we're in that bargaining phase of feeling guilty and if I should have done that, just having somebody you can trust to be able to say all those things that you probably aren't, I'm not saying you, but other people might feel like they don't want to share them with other people because they're worried about being judged. So sometimes just a professional is that safe place to just get that out of your head and to talk it through and let it be released, if you like. And some people are real extroverts and they need people to talk. And other people, they will do it very quietly in their own way. So
it's different strokes for different folks.
Different strokes for different folks. But definitely, you know, after a year, if you feel very stuck, it would be good to contact a counsellor or your GP.
Okay, that's good to know that it's that far. That's far up, and I don't have to do it tomorrow.
No.
Some people may expect us to move on after a certain time, but grief doesn't follow a schedule.
No.
It's not something to get over, but something to move through at your own pace and in your own way and in your own time. And it's like it's a process of integration, learning to carry the love and the loss side by side and adapting to not having them around, allowing ourselves time to process grief, however long that may take, is pretty crucial really, isn't it? Because it respects the soul's need to mourn. So suppressing or even rushing grief can stifle the inner peace that comes from allowing ourselves to process it. But then gentle attention to our emotions and feelings helps us integrate the loss into our lives, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So it's not about moving on, it's more about moving through.
Yes.
With reverence.
Yes.
And I remember nothing stays, not the pain, not the fear, not even the moment I'm standing in now. Life moves like waves, like seasons, like a turning of a page, and I whisper to myself, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, like the night into morning light, it fades at last. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. I release, I trust, I let it pass. I've stood in the storm with shaking hands, felt the weight of a world I couldn't understand, watched the sky turn dark inside my mind. But even the longest night runs out of time. I've held joy like fire inside my chest, felt love so pure, felt truly blessed. But even the brightest flame will change. Nothing in this life was made to stay, and somehow that makes it beautiful. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. Every shadow fades, no night can last. don't fight the river anymore. I don't beg the morning to be more. What is here is meant to be. Even pain is shaping me. Every loss has carved my soul. Every fall's made me whole. Even when I could not see the plan, life was unfolding in my hands, and now I know nothing is against me. I let go of control, of fear, of needing to know what comes will come, what goes will go. And in between, life flows. Everything's exactly as it should be. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. Like waves returning to the vast. And in the letting go, life becomes beautiful at last.
One final question, I think, before we wrap up this evening. What hope would you offer to someone listening this evening who has recently lost someone they love, and how can people begin to rebuild a meaningful life while still honouring themselves and the person that they've lost?
That's so important, to hold hope in one hand and to allow their grief in your life. I just want to say to people listening today, and if their hearts are really heavy as they listen, as so many of us go through grief, I'd like you to know that what you're feeling is a natural response to loving someone deeply, and be gentle with yourself. Allow yourself to grieve in your own way, in your own time. Reach out. You don't have to carry this alone. One of the greatest privileges of my work has been witnessing people slowly rebuild meaningful lives while continuing to carry the love of the person they lost. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean leaving something behind. It means discovering that love can continue to guide us, shape us and comfort us, even though the relationship has changed. I think it's really important to know that you can love and grieve at the same time, and that to be gentle and have compassion for yourself. We don't have to choose between remembering and living. A lot of people get stuck there and feel guilty if they start creating a new life, that they're not showing respect or grief for the person that they've lost. But I think a good question to always ask yourself is what would
they want
for you?
Yeah.
What would they like to see for you? And be encouraged by that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, very meaningful. Because giving grief its due is how we honour those that we've lost, and how we allow the soul to find meaning when the mind cannot.
Yes, beautiful.
Yeah.
Well said.
And where there is great grief, there was great love.
Yes.
And grief reminds us of the love that binds us eternally.
Yes.
So for people listening in this evening, if you've been experiencing grief yourself as well, or are still going through the throes of grief from some time ago, just breathe into the truth of it. Breathe into the truth of grief. Even though it's heavy, it's a testament to love's boundless nature. So open your heart to their whispers, share their stories, and know that you are held by the same divine light. Julianne, thank you so much for joining us this evening and sharing the wisdom of grief with us.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's been a very beautiful conversation with you, and
I think so.
yeah, thank you. It's been very special for me too.
Yeah, thank you so much. Well, that's it for this month, folks. Until next time, walk gently on this earth. Be gentle with yourself. Hold your loved ones close in your heart. And remember that what we have once loved, we can never lose. For all that we love becomes part of us.